Following my previous reviews of Dark Crisis, you know what my feelings with this crossover is, which is that there's a lot of stuff I like, but there's also a lot I don't like too. I personally really enjoy the Wally West and the other Flash stuff, so this Flash tie-in comics are probably my personal favorite of all of Dark Crisis, well, or at least so far. My mind might change, but this issue itself was really, really good. So at the moment, this is definitely my favorite part of Dark Crisis. Issue starts with Barry narrating about how this is his final chance to save the world, which we're told as we see a panel of a turtle, which I thought was a very nice touch, because, you know, turtles are slow, Barry isn't. Well, depending on what you see him in, because he loses speed all the time on the show. We then cut to the fight in the desert. If you don't remember, in the last issue, Jesse Quick and Max Mercury were sent to a sand Earth that reminds me a lot of Mad Max. They find this world version of Barry Allen, who doesn't seem to be a speedster. Instead, he drives a monster truck or a pickup truck and is in a car chase with a biker gang with his gang. Jesse Quick and Max Mercury join in on the fight, making quips as they defeat the gang members as they don't want anyone to get hurt. Trucker Barry Allen halts his truck to take out a rocket launcher, which I found funny he just happened to have in the trunk of his car, that he's about to shoot at the biker gang, but Max Mercury, being a speedster, easily just throws the rocket away. After the fight is done, Max and Jesse introduce themselves to this version of Barry, realizing that they were on the wrong Earth. But then Trucker Barry points behind them to a buff woman on the back of a truck. She announces to Barry that he stole something of hers and her boss wants it back. Jesse and Max run Barry out of the way to safety as the woman shoots a rocket right at them too. Jay and Iris, that is Wally's kids, not Jay, Garrick, or Barry's wife Iris. They're in a Gotham Central City mashup on a separate Earth. While they try to tamper with a device that brought them to this Earth, a Flash with a Batman aesthetic shows up. Jay runs the two away, leaving the Flash Man, or Bat Flash, in the back alley, claiming that these children are minions. Like, chill, Batman, or Bat Flash, or Flash Man. They're kids. Why do you think they're evil? Well, he then talks about a villain named Knives who apparently makes speedsters, which I guess his thought process that these two random speedster children are working for him makes more sense. He then monologues and we get his actual name, which is Night Flash. Last video, I thought this was meant to be another version of Red Death, which I was kind of close. It's a Batman Flash amalgamation, so I think it still counts as a point towards me, but that's just my opinion. Night Flash then starts to chase the two children, revealing he's also a speedster, but the kids just get away when Jay knocks him back, which I don't know how he does, but he does it. When they get away, they find out they dropped the device and are now stuck on this Earth when an unknown man in the shadows of an alley calls them over, saying to them that Night Flash here is going to be back soon, and he saves them by taking them into the alley with them, which sounds kind of sketchy, but for the panels, I'm pretty sure he's meant to be a good guy. My bet is his character is most likely Tim Drake, or at least that's what he looks like to me. And yeah. Would you think Night Flash is a better name than Bat Flash? I think Bat Flash is better, in my opinion, but Night Flash, I think, works too. Flash Man, my other guess was really bad. But either way, it's his name is Night Flash, so that's what I'm just going to call him now. With Wallace and Wally West, the two are still on a roof looking down at the more 80-ish comic-looking world, talking about if this Flash down below they're watching is their Barry or not. Wally's seeing that Barry leaves the scene, decides to trail him, leaving Wallace to trail his younger self, Wally, who's the youngest version of Wally, not Wallace. It's confusing, because it's not confusing when you read it, because they're all very clearly are different people, but when you're talking about it, and all of them have the same name, that being Wally or Wallace, it's just hard to, explain. We then see Barry running down the street enjoying life, thinking about a family barbecue, when Reverse Flash appears in front of him. Or does he? It's actually Wally, but Barry for some reason believes it to be Reverse Flash. Barry attacks Wally, who just tries talking him down. But it is weird here, because Wally doesn't seem to be too surprised by the idea that Barry would attack him. which I found really odd. But I don't. I mean, to be fair though, Wally did murder a lot of people in Heroes in Crisis, so maybe the idea that Barry hating Wally in his mind isn't far fetched. But it was just weird to me that Wally didn't seem to be too surprised that Barry would attack him. But as the sky turns red, Barry starts to see Wally as he truly is and apologizes. But right after that, he attacks him again, convinced it's a trick from Reverse Flash, which, seeing how Reverse Flash works, that's not that far off. It cuts back to Wallace following young Wally, but something happens for a third or, okay, either happens a third or fourth Wally, technically, appears, claiming he's retired to Wally before Wally somehow, a Wallace, before Wallace appears somehow in his silver suit. Yeah, I know it's a little confusing. I would read this part yourself because there's so many Wallies. They go into the family house where dinner is being served, and that's it. Although there also, I do think I should point out that at the dinner table we see the Teen Titans, which is I think might be important to the next issue. Honestly, I love this issue. It's actually my favorite out of everything involved with Dark Crisis. Team 1, Jesse Quick and Max Mercury, was a great team up. I usually really dislike storylines in this type of atmosphere, but I really enjoyed how they used their abilities, like Max grabbing that rocket or how Jesse and him just easily defeated the gang with their abilities. Team 2, Jay and Iris, which is probably my least favorite team. Not bad, but Jay seemed to be the only one really contributing anything, as he's the one who punched Night Flash and grabs Iris to save her. But I did really like their sibling banter. Team 3, Wally West and Wallace West, is the biggest deep dive into the characters themselves. Wallace missing the days of him being a Teen Titan in the old days where he was the only Wally West. While Wally West is shown how he sees Barry, thinking that the idea Barry would hate him could be possible, not knowing that he thought he was Thawne at first, although he did learn later on during the fight when he calls him that. Overall, I really liked this issue. It's certainly something I like. This is definitely the idea feeling in like storytelling I hope that the rest of the series could have. Probably not. If you saw my other reviews, you know that I had some issues with some of the fake out deaths on John Kent's character, and yeah, and how like they're kind of missing a lot of the main characters who like they're like building up. Like for example, Yara Flor is weirdly absent. Tim Fox is weirdly absent, despite the fact they were, being built up as these big characters. Are randomly just not there in the actual crossover. But that's just my opinion. What did you think of this issue? What do you think of the crossover itself? Do you like the crossover? Do you not like the crossover? Leave it all down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.